Soul Garden.
Hello my heroes, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Update. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your host to the universe. I'm also the host of SoulGarden.me, one of the most loving spaces on the internet. Come on down and join our club, a social club for remarkable souls living their brightest. This text at the bottom here are all the Aries riders and SG riders that are always going out finding good stuff that is just right for the ram. So come on down and plant yourself. We'll call you a Sprout. That's a new time member. And for those who haven't been in a while, come on back and check with us. We have all kinds of stuff going on during the week. Now, I do have some good news as well. The Act 4 videos will be available this week for immediate download. This is where I summarize the end of the year up for your whole life up until the Mayan calendar end and New Year's Eve if we're here. Now, I'm not sure when they'll be out of the oven exactly because I want to have the horoscopes on Sundays, but if you want me to text you when they're done, just text me to 96362 and we'll text you when they're coming out of the oven. Also, for those who've asked, Astro 101, a video class where I teach you astrology 8 minutes a day. These are affordable, downloadable videos. They're all designed and recut so that you can kind of learn while you go. So have them on your phone and whatnot. So those are available right now at soulmart.me, and a lot of people ask for those as well. So happy to oblige there. We're moving into Chapter 3 of Sun and Libra, the Master Shui. It's now time to allow our emotions to meet the month's topic. In your case, the month's topic now is marriages, how you union with others. And this is not a new topic. For 3 years, since the fall of 2009, you've had marital issues. Now, it does start with your marriage, how you treat yourself, and it moves into your ideas of balance. A lot of selfish people out there, a lot of selfless people out there. But now we've worked up this week to your marriages, how you unionize your energy with other people. You don't have to walk down the aisle to be married, by the way. Moving in with someone is pretty much marriage. And so what you're setting up here is your passion about marriage. That's what Master Shui is, your passion of and your passion for giving and receiving, how you balance in a marriage and how you set the tone for a marriage. Very powerful time. And this is also a big, powerful time for a certain generation, which I will talk about here in a couple of minutes. So when we overlap on Sunday, Jupiter rules the day, and the moon is already in in Libra, so you are sunny and sentimental on Sunday. So you're already starting to feel the month's topic, starting to feel the Master Shui of marriage and whatnot. Looking at the planets, Saturn is 1 degree Scorpio, so on this day, for the first time, you might be feeling the strength to draw particular boundaries for yourself. So this might be the first day you actually feel strong enough to decide where you want marriages to go or not, or suddenly you feel strong enough to where everything you think is going to work out, but you're feeling strong and ready to draw boundaries for loving yourself only. You're not really able to draw the master boundaries at all, so be reasonable with yourself. On Monday, it's Lightcast Day, and not just a Lightcast Day, a Uranus-ruled Lightcast Day. That means we're going to have breakdown, breakthrough, Master Shui, all right? Holding space for what we want next. This will be a very powerful Lightcast Day. Sunny and passion-filled is my prediction. There we go, more Lightcast Day garb. Now, one thing I want to point out is in a certain generation, if you're born between 1973 and 1982, you're in the Pluto Libra generation, and this particular Lightcast Day is not just the end of a 3-year transit, but the end of your childhood karma if you have learned your lesson well. So for some on the earth, this is a major graduation into their power, and this is a moment where you can step into the light. Now, in your particular case right now, Aries, it is time on Lightcast Day to fill your heart with love. You have to surrender your passion, and you have to basically point the way with your heart as to where you believe your romantic passion will be in a long-term relationship. For those of you who want to be married to business partnerships, you might want to romanticize and create the emotional, passionate tone for how that will go. And you're basically going to hold that note. That's what Lightcast Day is. We hold the note while Saturn 1 degree says, hey, also drawing boundaries for me. So make sure you draw boundaries for yourself as you Lightcast. Now, for those of you watched over by GA, we will be with texting all day long and helping people through it. And for those in that generation, I recommend you do your soul work. Then on Tuesday, it's Breakthrough Day, and the moon shifts into Scorpio. So now you are feeling those boundaries you drew or did not draw. So you might be a little vulnerable, cloudy and rather private and overcast. It's a Mercury ruled day, so we're in our heads and we're processing. And really what you're trying to do is kind of correct and understand exactly where marriage, partnership, balance should go. For those of you who are single, you should be doing this. For those of you who are not single, you should be doing this, okay? Trust me, it's going to count. Now, the moon has crossed over Saturn during this 24-hour period, so you had to feel those emotional boundaries that you did or didn't draw. Now, you didn't have to draw them. Saturn just gave you the strength to draw them, but you are feeling those boundaries, I do believe, as the moon crosses. And the moon also heads for Mercury between that and the next 24 hours, and when it does, you get really clear on where boundaries need to go. So don't feel bad if it doesn't work out the way you want to. Now, one thing I do want to point out is this square that comes to a head on Tuesday. This square is one that has been working for a long time. Squares, by the way, are where we have fears that are blocking us. In this case, we actually have two fears. Now, the epicenter of the squares is Venus in Virgo, which is you trying to bring the new life, create the new lifestyle, try to embrace a whole new way of living in the moment. And it's time to live the moment. But between that is a fear between two different areas. On the one hand, between your beliefs, so what you believe or the way you're raised to believe might be in the way of this new lifestyle. And then secondly, Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, which means your mind and your attitude at large is causing fears and ruckus between the new lifestyle. Remember, this month is about balance and marriage and master shui of marriage, but in the background, these fears might be holding things up. So to face fear, you face it. That's how you do it, right? You just face right into it. Then on Wednesday, you might be facing stuff. Venus rules the day, which means we're going to restore balance and order. It means you can restore balance and order and romance and love to your master shui of relationships and marriage. If your marriage issues have gone through a hard time, they should restore, at least the energy is there on Wednesday to restore them to balance and order. Looking at the planets, the moon is crossed over Mercury and just kind of floating in the master areas of boundaries. So I think you are private and you are reserved, and maybe you are completely alone on this day and restoring balance on your own, just so you know. So it's not necessarily a day that you're going to want to go outside and play, per se. That is Wednesday. Then on Thursday, sorry, my buttons are all crazy. Neptune rules the day. It's sunny. I think you kind of come more out than you were so far, but it's a pensive day. The moon has moved through Sagittarius, and so you are exploring the meanings of things. Why are things the way they are, etc. It is that finding life purpose, and so it's an explorative day. It's also a Neptune rule day, making us all intuitive. And in the master shui, that is you getting up into the enthusiasm and passion of marriages and partnerships. This is where you allow your intuition to kind of gently direct where it should or shouldn't go at this point. There's also an opposition or a tug-of-war for a period of the day. Will text you for what exactly the period is for those in GA. But essentially, the moon will cross over Mars. That means there'll be an aggressive kind of moment of, can I do this? Can I not do this? Or I do believe in this. I do believe it can happen. So there's this kind of resurrection of passion behind beliefs. But then as the moon crosses after that passion, it immediately opposes Jupiter, which means your mind starts to doubt, or you might slip into doubt, or you might slip into negative thinking that opposes that passion you just built not like 4 hours ago. So this is kind of a test really this day of keeping the right attitude and finding the right intellectual inner support while all the while maintaining that master shui in the Libra lesson. Then comes Friday. Now Friday is a sharper day. Saturn rules the day, so it is now a decisive day. And this is the day where you have to commit to that marriage idea. Okay, we want to commit, especially for you Pluto in Libra generation. You must commit to an overall sense of what balance and harmony is in your life and what you believe balance and harmony will bring. Okay, so for everyone on the planet that's the case. Now you are feeling, I think, the passion. The moon is about to hit your spiritual midheaven, so you're starting to really feel your whole purpose and reason for being alive, and I think that allows you to be decisive and to commit to marriage and partnerships. All right, so Friday is powerful in that regard. Some planetary stuff is just that the moon is still working very aggressively with Mars. Mars is in the house of beliefs, moving forward with what you believe. And on this particular day, as the moon crosses the midheaven and Mars is at 9 degrees, it is really kind of a time of putting your money where your mouth is. To some degree, you might be raising the stakes in your beliefs and following your beliefs. So there might be a big leap of faith as you are moving forward. Then on Saturn Day, Mars, your home planet, rules the day, and this is a day where you're going to put into action those vows you made to yourself about marriage and partnership. So you really want to, don't go to Vegas and get eloped, but at least have a conversation and say, I think we should buy a ring, or whatever. I think we should split up, or whatever. It's time to take action. You'll know when to take action because you will feel it and you will sense it. We have emotion and intuition working side by side When it feels right and it senses right, you act. Okay, so that's what you do. I'll be reminding you in texts of that. But I think overall, you're feeling sunny and strong as you take action to move forward on this month's transit. Now, one interesting trine that I want to point out here is Venus, which has now progressed to the master shui of embracing your life. So now you're starting to feel a lifestyle that is also along feeling a new relationship. So it's like your life is changing, and you can feel your marriages and partnerships changing. And as you feel this all trines up to Pluto at 7 degrees in Capricorn, which means this changing of your life means your career and legacy is changing. So it's a lot of fireworks of changing. One other interesting point, oh, I could have zoomed in there. Sorry about that. Good for me. Then on Sunday, our overlap Master Shui Day. Sunday is an interesting day because we're holding space and squatting. So you're basically going to hold space on what your passionate attitude is about marriage, partnership, balance, and marriage, and all that stuff. And the moon is well in the Capricorn, but moves off of Pluto. So on this day, you're really feeling your career and your legacy, and you're feeling focused in your career and legacy, I believe, on Sunday. Now, let me show you the planets because they're interesting. For one, we're starting to conjunct the Sun and Saturn. So as you're starting to feel career and legacy on the wrap-up of the week, you're beginning to feel a blend between marriage and trust. So you're moving down that aisle of trust, either trusting yourself by stepping away from a marriage or trusting yourself by moving into an attitude of marriage, wherever you happen to be going at this particular mark. But because the Sun is conjuncting Saturn, we're going to live literally our first boundary lesson here in the first as it crosses over Saturn as the Sun moves into Scorpio. So we're about to shift to the new entire new lesson. The other thing that's super interesting about this day is look at all the planets in Master Shui. The mind, 22 degrees, which is a final breakdown breakthrough, the same degree as we had Light Cast Day. Venus is at 22 degrees Virgo. That is also the same degree as Light Cast Day. And the Sun is holding space with the new lesson of Saturn. What this basically is like this weird yoga pose end, where your mind in Scorpio is having a breakthrough of where the boundaries need to be drawn. Venus in Virgo is saying, and this is how the life is going to feel. The Sun is going, and this will be my marriages. And Saturn at 1 degree Scorpio is saying, oh crap, we're going to have to get the locks changed. All right, well, that's all I have for this 7-day forecast. Don't forget, we got free office hours, 5 days, 7 days a week almost. And we've got all sorts of things to download really cheap to help you learn in Soul Mart. So there's no excuses not to graduate this transit. I'll see you in 7 days with more. Until then, live, love, be.
Having trouble in your love life? I have the answers. It's called Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Not anymore. Find out your birthday secrets, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.